the curse of sin upon him. He didn't have the sin nature as we have it. He was truly, literally, a perfect child. As Luke 1:35 tells us, that therefore the child to be born will be called holy. Jesus will be called holy. And to be clear, that is telling us that Jesus never sinned. As an affirmation of this, Peter will write, many years later, one of the apostles, Peter, will write in 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 22, that he committed no sin, neither was deceit found in his mouth. Now, when Jennifer and I got married, up to that point, it was commonly held knowledge on her behalf that I was perfect. Why are you laughing? It took less than 24 hours after we got married for her to figure out that that was not a right view of me. I want you to think about Peter. Peter, who writes in 1 Peter 4:22 about Jesus, he committed no sin. Peter hung out with Jesus for nearly 3 years. Every single day of his life, Peter spent next to Jesus during those 3 years. Day in, day out, morning, noon, night. If anybody understood who Jesus was and observed him and watched him closely and would have been able to make an evaluation about Jesus and his nature and his character, it would have been Peter. And Peter's testimony is that Jesus committed no sin. Going even further, he says that there was not even deceit found in his mouth. To his very core, Jesus was perfect, so Peter says. And we know this. The sign of his birth and his conception, that he was miraculously conceived of a virgin, was a statement, a testimony that Jesus was and is perfect, and that he was perfect for a good reason, so that he could die for your sin and for mine. See, Jesus, indeed, 100% a human being, he could be our representative. But if he had sin in his life, well, he would not have been a proper sacrifice for us. He had to be perfect in order to die for the sins of the world. Go back to Matthew 1, verse 21. We're told that she, Mary, will bear a son. You shall call his name Jesus, for he will save his people from their sins. This 100% perfect child came to save us from our sin. Why is it important that Jesus be perfect? Well, let me put it this way. Why couldn't I die for you and to pay for your sins in your place? You know why? Because I have my own sin debt. If somebody's going to die, deservedly so, for sin, it's me. And I'm a sinner, and so I deserve to die for my sin. And so if I deserve to die for my sin, because I have a sin debt, I cannot die in your place. I have no moral standing to be able to do that. If somebody's going to die for you, then it's going to have to be you, unless there's somebody out there who doesn't have a sin debt, and the only one that I know of is Jesus. Jesus was perfect. And we needed someone that was perfect, who had no sin debt, somebody without debt to take our debt upon himself. And so Jesus came to mankind to make this happen, to reveal himself to us, to be our representative, to become a sin sacrifice, and yes, to show us the way of salvation. That's what this child came to do. This child, what child is this? It is the child who came to show us the way.